Any thoughts before we get this going?
I think to Cheryl's point, I mean, we have a really tightly packed group here. And, you know, it's a cliche to say, but it's going to come down to who makes more lifts. But I think it's really the correct thing to say in this session, for sure.
And Lydia, who we are seeing now on screen, is slated with the highest opener of 110. Let's see if that holds up based on what the field does. And now we have Bochaman Nadeau of Canada. First attempt, 94 kilos.
That looks pretty good.
Well, Marie-Eve has a lot of experience. She's been to 8 senior worlds, 2 junior worlds, 2 Olympics, and with technique like this.
Yeah, she knows how important it is to lock in the opener, and she did beautifully there. Very nice lift.
She opened
6 worlds?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
8. I mean, she's been lifting a long time. Her first worlds was 2006, Santo Domingo, and that was the seniors, wasn't it?
I was there. It wasn't a great meet for me, but...
Ask me how I know if it was a senior world.
Yeah, and remember, we don't actually have a world championship the Olympic years.
That's right.
So those years don't count. So that puts her, and makes sense, all the way back to 2006.
Yep.
When was your last world, Cheryl?
My last world championship, I participated in Thailand in 2007, Chiang Mai.
All right, so now we have 95 kilos on the bar, and we will bring out our lifter from Uzbekistan, Amadoy Adaguzeva. First attempt.
Oh, hips up a little bit. Kind of jumped forward a little bit,
Yeah.
but made the lift.
Made the lift. Looks like a strong, strong girl. Like you said, I saw it too, Sean. As soon as she came off the floor, little tug over, but she's strong enough to get that barbell back to where she needs it.
Yep.
And she does it.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say you were so great, Cheryl, that your numbers have not been surpassed yet in the United States.
You know what, Sean? That's why I like you.
I mean, in fact, your numbers would hold up now. If you lifted in the Olympics now, you'd be in the hunt for a medal.
All right, so now we have 96 kilos loaded. Yao Chi-Ling.
Nice.
Great speed under the bar.
Yeah, and that style that we sometimes see from Asian nation lifters, that head down when they punch out.
Right, as a counterbalance, she's coming up and getting that head through and the bar back as far back as she can.
All right, so now we have 96 on the bar. Crystal Ngarlam of Canada.
Hold it. Good battle.
Good, good. Yeah, we noticed in the warm-up room where I did, she was kind of going forward and not really finishing very well on those snatches, and she gave it a good finish there and got it.
Nice adjustment right there.
Yes.
You see that?
Right.
All right, so she is on the board with 96 kilos, and it looks like it's going to move around a little bit. Everybody's sitting on, you know, these automatic increases before we see. So now 97 is going to get called, and it looks like it's going to be Arimi Fuentes Zavala of Mexico. She was at the Universiade, Sean.
Yes, she was. I actually do remember her.
Snatched 101 there. She was in the 75 kilo category. Placed second overall. Let me test your memory. Can you think of who won?
The 75s?
Yeah.
At the universities?
2016. Think about it while she comes out to make her opener. Won't leave you hanging forever. We will look it up at some point if you don't remember.
Man, I don't remember.
All right, here is Garza.
Solid opener.
Really, really solid. She's got one of those, or that sort of build where she's got nice short legs, very powerful, and when she sits into the full squat, she doesn't look like she's going very far because her limbs are so short. But that's going to be advantageous, obviously, lifting some big weights in the clean and jerk, I imagine.
I'd be careful with that hair. This is the second time I'm mentioning this over the world's second lifter.
Have you ever seen that being
No,
bald?
but, you know, but I see it there. I wonder if it might.
I don't want to be the official that makes that call.
Me neither. Yeah.
That Pandora's box.
Yeah,
sure.
good point. We'll come back to that. All right, so now Ayumi Kamaya of Japan. Opened with 100 in Ashgabat back in September. Here she is with 98. Ooh. She hit the bottom and then sunk a little lower. What did you see there?
I feel like she needs to just finish that pull a little bit better. She could have just extended maybe for a split second longer. She kind of hit the bottom a little too soon. Didn't complete the pull. But it's a simple mistake. It's a common mistake. And she knows without a doubt what she just did. She's going to come back out and nail it.
I agree, Cheryl. I think a little bit more extension is going to give her her feet a chance to get back down faster and her arms to lock a little bit faster.
Right,
and
right.
A little bit more time to decelerate and stabilize.
But like I was telling JP earlier this morning, that last warm-up, between the last warm-up and coming out on the stage, that barbell can feel completely different, and sometimes it just throws your timing off. I mean, you're trying to find your horizon line and keep your balance. And
so I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but there's okay. They let this clock run down a bit before they made the change on Kachanke. So go ahead, continue your thought.
I was just going to say, even where you're looking in the audience prior to lifting factors into your spatial awareness. So sometimes it's just a little different, and sometimes you just need that first attempt to figure out what the heck's going on out here on the stage.
Sean, what did you call that the other day? Crossing through into a new universe?
Yeah, once you step through that threshold, it's just a different world.
Completely.
It's a different world. The energy changes, everything changes.
And you and I suggested it as people who did not know. Cheryl has just verified it as somebody who does know.
Right.
Air is different. I promise you.
All right, so now we are back to Kamiya of Japan. Second attempt, 98 kilos.
Atta girl.
Yes. Beautiful lines. She's really pretty in that position. Nice and upright. Nice locked elbows.
Looks comfortable. I tell my lifters I want them to be able to sit down there and read the New York Times. I want them so comfortable.
And there she is.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
And she knows, too. You see it in her face. She knows she's got the lift, and she just got to balance and stand straight up.
Coach Miyagi on screen there.
The legendary coach from Japan.
And we now have 99 kilos loaded for Boshiman Nadu of Canada. She snatched 98 at the Pan Ams earlier this year.
As a 69, though, right?
Yes, I think so. Oh, man, she got under that nicely.
Yeah. looked like it kicked away a little bit, I think.
I was going to say the same thing, Sean. I think she just lost control of the bar. Really important to keep the bar as close as possible.
Would you think that maybe she needs to get her arms involved a little bit sooner to kind of control that, or what would you say to her?
Keep the chest up. I was really hoping for that replay. But yeah, I think the assessment there is just keep the bar closer.
All right, so now 99 kilos, 4-kilo jump for Amadoi.
On her first attempt, her hips came up a little bit, and she jumped forward, but still made it. Let's see if she makes that correction. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Yeah,
a little sideways too, right?
Couldn't tell.
Okay.
But she's got a lot going on.
Right. The hips came up, and you know what, Sean and JP, it looks like that's the way she snatches.
Yes. Living dangerously, though, with that.
Right. There's a lot of inconsistency that she probably suffers from. Hopefully she can regroup for the third attempt, though.
All right, so back to Garland of Canada.
That's a good snatch. That's a good snatch. A little recovery forward, but she pulled a little bit better.
And 2 for 2 for Crystal in Garland.
You know, it looked like it never actually got back in the slot, and she just held it there.
Right.
And as she comes up, right there, it starts to come forward, but she holds it.
Right. She really doesn't get that bar back very far, does she? Even when she's standing there, it kind of stays in that, right? It always looks a bit forward, but she got it.
Good enough.
All right, that 99 kilos is going to stay on the bar for her countrymate and teammate, Marie-Eve Beauchemin-Nadeau, third attempt.
Come on, right. Va chercher, let's go.
Yes.
There you go.
Good adjustment.
Very good.
Mark of a pro.
She listened to you, Cheryl.
That's a wise decision generally. I'm joking. I'm just like that broken clock, you know. Every once in a while I get it.
So that will cap off a 2 for 3 series for Marie-Eve Beauchemin-Nadeau of Canada. And now we have our lifter from Uzbekistan, Odoguizeva.
Wow.
2 in a row, same way, right?
Yeah, same mistake.
And the thing about the lifting technique is it will work for however many kilos, but everybody has that threshold where that technique can be cleaned up and maybe a little bit more efficiency so you can get that extra kilo on the barbell.
You know, we see great lifters jump forward and back. Ideally, when you teach somebody to lift, you want them not to jump forward and back to get their feet straight out. But jumping forward to me is a bigger problem.
Much bigger, much bigger. We were talking about that this morning. That you know, with the jump back, I'll tolerate a little bit of jumping back. The idea is not to waste too much time traveling, especially laterally on the platform. But as long as you're bringing the barbell with you, sometimes you see lifters jump back and they're literally sneaking out from under the bar, and that's when it's a bigger problem.
I agree 100%. You have a little bit of room to battle when you jump back, but in the front it's lost.
Right.
All right. So speaking of technique, an interesting technique. Here is Gaëlle Nail-Kachanke of France. I think I've seen her lift recently where she was doing powers. It might have been the Olympics. She did powers.
Oh, I think you're correct.
She snatched 102 in Rio.
I think she might be new to the sport and from track. Is that?
Patiente. Longtemps les appuis, épaules devant.
Okay.
Lourd. Allez, 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 allez.
Oh, that's not power, right?
Holy moly.
But it was fast.
I think I blinked, you guys, and I missed what happened. That was fast and powerful, and a great opening attempt.
JP, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember her name, but this isn't her.
Okay. But this is a good opener with 100 kilos, and that's up near her heaviest opener ever. She did open with 105 in Houston. Let's see where the string takes her, and now we will go back to our lifter from Chinese Taipei, Yao Qiling. She was junior world champion at plus 75 back in 2012.
She couldn't have been too much more than 75, I'd imagine.
That's right.
Wow.
Very nice.
Very
Good.
nice.
Just like the first one.
Yep.
That's what you want to see. You want to eliminate the variables, and hopefully these lifts are going to look exactly the same no matter what weight is on the barbell, and that's the goal.
And Sean, to button that up, she weighed 80 kilos when she won it.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, one of those athletes that really benefited from the weight class adjustments that happened recently. Quite small to be a super heavy.
Yeah, as a kid, okay, but yeah, now the year of birth, 1993, she's in her 20s, and this seems like the right, size for her. Okay, so now we are back to Garza of Mexico, opened successfully with 97. We now have 100 kilos. Two for two.
Just as good. Just as good.
She has snatched 105. It's just a nice movement, right? I know it was a little bit in front maybe when she punched out, but overall. All right, so Jenny Arthur has been introduced with 101, but we're hearing that she just took 99 in the back, or loaded 99 in the back, so I don't think that.
Right, I can imagine that she's gonna bump up.
And she has, so she's done with her warm-up. She's walking over to the holding area, and it looks like she moved to
102,
which is about where she's been opening recently, right?
Yes.
And it was totally a thrill for me to meet her the other day for the first time because she's a Georgia girl like I am.
Oh, that's right.
So, Sean, earlier I asked you who won the 2016 Universiade. Currently on the bar at 101 kilos. Anchiteg Mangchisan. She did a 235 kilo total there. Snatched 105, so here she is opening with 101.
Not taking any chances, to Cheryl's point earlier. Every lift's going to count here.
Yeah, so far 7 lifters have opened thus far, 8, and 6 of them have made their openers.
Beautiful lift.
Very nice lift.
Make that 7 have made their openers.
That's going to be critical.
Because that was an opener for her.
What are your feelings, Sean and JP, on that big extension where the face is looking at the ceiling and we got that arch? It seems to work for some lifters, and some lifters you want to see a more vertical stance.
I want to minimize any unnecessary horizontal displacement.
I agree.
It works for Muhammad Ehab. He seems to do just fine with it, but I wouldn't teach that.
Right. Not as efficient.
All right, so now we have Ann Garland.
Keep it close. Aggressive off the floor.
Couldn't hang on. Couldn't hang on to that weight.
A little bit to her left, and that left arm I don't think ever got to a full extension. I don't think she ever had it locked out.
That's got to be close to her best, because I've seen her lift a few times internationally.
98.
Oh, well, okay.
And
So that would have been above her best.
Yeah.
that symmetry is what we're after, obviously, but as human beings, we're not perfectly symmetrical. You could see that she was a bit softer on her left side than her right side the entire time, and it finally gave.
And with enough weight, it's going to come. You're going to bring it out.
Right.
All right, so now we have Irene Zavala. (102 kilos). This is her first attempt, and this is a big opener. I don't know that I've ever seen a meet where she's opened with heavier than 95. 101 Pan Ams. So this was her heaviest opener ever, and it looks like she's going to be on the board with it. And now Jenny Arthur, 102, and it does look like she's going to take this.
Chest out, aggressive. Let's go.
Replay here. Good lift.
And
Right.
Jenny's been out of competition for a while.
She did lift in September at the American Open Series in Grand Rapids to get the qualifying total to get here. She snatched 105.
Big chest, punch up.
Kevin Doherty.
Push, 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 push.
Tight.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's okay. She got the jitters out. That happens. Look, plenty strong, but the snatch is an inch forward, and all is lost. But she's going to make the correction because that's not heavy.
It is
not heavy for her.
Yeah, and it looked like her momentum just started taking her a little bit forward. And that's one where you just, forget it. You make it, you repeat, but you just got to forget it, come back and make it.
You got to pretend like you got your opening attempt to do again and shake it off.
All right, so now 102 is going to stay on the bar as an automatic increase.
Cheryl, when you would miss a lift at a meet like this, what would you tell yourself?
Oftentimes, I'm focusing on what exactly I did incorrectly. I mean, these athletes have done thousands of repetitions. Sometimes you go out there and you make a stupid, silly mistake that you've been doing in training, and you know exactly, you have the tools in your tool belt to make the correction, and I'm just giving myself reminders of what those items are and checking them off.
Okay.
All right, so Monk Johnston moved up after being introduced, so that means Jenny Arthur is following herself on a 1-minute clock. She's got to come right back out quickly for this, and in this case, I don't think that that's a bad thing.
No, it's snatch. It doesn't waste any. It just doesn't.
But especially with the authority that she just took that first attempt.
Yes. And she has plenty of energy, plenty of strength for this.
Big chest and punch. Push, push.
Tight.
Good job.
There you go.
Good job.
And she's moving well. I mean, 107 at the Olympics.
It's not heavy, right?
She needs a big finish on this third attempt she's going to have, and she needs to lock it down.
It's just
scoot
perfect.
back. Little scoot back with her feet, though, just a touch in that barbell. That's why she has to recover forward, but not much.
Okay.
She just got to be a little more patient, come straight up and straight down.
So with that, she's in the hunt here. That will move her into second because she was the second person to snatch 102. I think she might sit back and wait a bit. You could figure anywhere between 105 and 107 would be a reasonable call, depending on what happens.
107 is going to be tough for her, I think.
Sit tight, we shall see. And now we have Dahomas. This is her first attempt.
Wow.
That was nice.
Well, you don't win 2 junior world championships in a row
by not knowing how to snatch. Yep, that was, I don't have much to say about that. Solid opener.
I mean, that was as close to perfect as you can do.
It really is.
You said she won Junior Worlds twice.
Twice in a row.
Well, there's a reason for that.
And she's still a junior.
Those were the days.
Allez, gars.
Here's Kachanke.
Dur départ, longtemps les appuis.
103 kilos.
Épaule devant. Allez!
Wow.
I dare say that was a bit better than her first attempt.
Yeah.
She stayed on that vertical plane, no forward movement on that one. She nailed it.
And she's so nice and long that we mentioned this in the last session with the Brazilian lifter. You can really see what's going on because she's so long.
Right, those levers are long. I've seen some of the better snatchers I've ever seen have long arms and long legs, so that's not necessarily a bad thing at all.
But it catches up to you in the clean
I was
jerk.
going to say, now the clean and jerk is another issue.
All right, so now we have Ayumi Kamiya of Japan. This is her third attempt, 103 kilos, 5 kilo jump from her second attempt with 98 kilos.
Oh.
Little hesitation off the floor there.
So I'd like to see her move her feet a little faster, get to that receiving position a little faster, but perfectly capable of making that.
Right, good patience. She is a bit slow on that first pull, but she waits, she gets into the hip, and it allows her to get that nice pop, but just not enough.
All right, so now we have Yao Sheiling, Chinese Taipei, currently 2 for 2, 96 and 100, both on the board, and a 3 kilo jump here that will move her into third if she's successful. And I like this play because she has a relatively big clean and jerk. So just stay in this thing where you think you need to be and let the clean and jerk sort it out.
And she's given no indication that she's going to miss this. I mean, those first two have been great.
Oh, right arm.
There you go. I just had to open my mouth.
Thanks a lot, Sean.
Yeah.
All right, so no lift. She will be credited with 100 kilos from her second attempt. And you got to think as long as she's within 8, less than 10 kilos, let's call it that, of the leader in the snatch, that she can make things interesting later. And now we will go back to Nacy Dahomez, who is going to move up. This is just her automatic increase with 104. So I think we're going to see Garza here on her third attempt.
I think
there's the change going in.
And I think the call for Arthur is going to be 5. We'll see.
Well, Jenny does have, I guess I would call it the disadvantage of being start number 4,
right,
which means she's not fully in control. She doesn't have the flow of the competition in her favor, so she may have to take what she wants as opposed to reacting to the others.
Yeah, somebody's got to make the first move.
Exactly, and I think the lower start number is going to force her out as opposed to some of the others who are still left. But now we have Garza at 104, and this will move her into the lead. Uneven off the floor, right? You see the bar kind of drifting to her right.
Yeah, I did notice that. And again, about that symmetry, it's always the goal. But these lifters are efficient. They're really, really at the top of their maxes, and all of those imbalances are going to show their ugly faces there, unfortunately.
So no lift there. She will be credited with 100 kilos from her second attempt, and now we will bring back Jenny Arthur at 104 in similar game, Sean.
Yep.
Do what you think you can make and let the clean and jerk sort it out. So now here she is on her third attempt.
We're going to watch out for that little scoop back she does out from under the barbell. Hopefully she'll correct that. This will be her best lift.
Big chest. Aggressive up there. Punch. Push!
Hang on. That was a better snatch.
Yes.
Very nicely done by Jenny.
The crowd likes it. The referees like it.
And Kevin Doherty likes it.
Kevin Doherty likes it.
And that becomes an important lift, you know. Now the burden is on everyone else to snatch more than that. She's up the ante, if you will.
Yeah, and this is a nice movement. Little step forward again. Doesn't matter. All you need to do is make the lift. And really where Jenny excels and where she looks great is from that power position into that overhead where she transitions. It's just spot on. All right, so now Aremi Fuentes Zavala, second attempt, 105 kilos. So we'll put her 1 kilo ahead of Jenny Arthur.
Oh.
Little movement.
I think she might have gotten it, though.
Look at the look on her face.
Okay.
3 white lights.
Look, I saw that right arm a little bit. Is that what you saw? A little bit of
Just
jiggle?
a touch, just a little bit of wiggle.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay.
And I figured if she got a light, it would be from that center judge, but he didn't seem too bothered.
And it may seem like we're nitpicking, but we're really not. I mean, we've seen lifts that look like that, or close to it, get turned down, and you know, you both noticed it. So
Yeah.
I've seen the jury in action here at this competition more than I ever have, so there are no guarantees for sure.
All right, so now we are back to Kachanke for her third and final attempt.
And she's been dynamic today.
Reste dans les jambes longtemps. Les appuis lourds au départ. Confiance. Envie, reste.
Cut it, maybe?
Maybe just a touch.
So she will be credited with 103 kilos from her second attempt, and let's see if the extension.
I mean, the speed was the same, so it's not a strength issue.
No.
It's a little out of position.
Yeah, that's it.
I agree. She could have shifted back and gotten into the hip a little bit more efficiently.
But it looked like it maybe came in a little low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's Munk Johnston on Setseg of Mongolia. She was 8th in Rio, snatched 105, didn't take a third attempt. No, I'm sorry. That was at the Junior Worlds. In Rio, she snatched 106 on her second attempt. So here she is again on the second attempt with 106.
Be interested to see that replay.
Looks like she kind of threw herself forward underneath instead of standing upright to get under.
Right. Got to keep the chest up while you're dropping under the barbell. The tendency is, especially on the heavy ones, to pull and dive.
Right.
All right, so we're down to our final 4 lifts that don't belong to Lydia Valentin.
So it looks like she's going to be following herself.
And it also looks like any miss here could be costly in terms of the medal stand. So here is Nacy de Holmes, 106, second attempt.
And she
I mean, just
nailed it.
Clinic and technique.
That's right. It's exactly how you want to snatch. And again, as the weight gets heavier on the barbell, you want them to all look the same no matter what.
And she is doing that.
And without the actual physical plates on the bar, that looks exactly like her opening attempt. And that's exactly what she wants.
Next down, please.
All right, so now we go back to Munk Johnston on Setseg. And with 106, she's got a choice to make here. If she takes the 106, she will be in second. Or she can move up a kilo and play for the lead, but it would put Zavala on the bar, and that's the game that's going to get played here. Because if you miss an attempt, you basically miss out on the medal stand. If you make an attempt, you know, if anybody else misses, they're out, right? So these last three lifters, again, not including Lydia, are all on 107 right now, and you're going to see the waterfall of numbers. If Zavala makes this, the next lifter, Dahomes, will take 108, and then Monk Johnston will take 109, based. All right, so now Barrera could hold on a 1 kilo increase if she wants. Or if she moves up, the Mongolian will move up again as well.
Right.
And I would do that because Monk Johnson is coming off a miss. And Barrera is on an automatic increase. And that is what she's done. So she has moved. Oh no, order of lifting was in Barrera's favor. So Monk Johnson is the lifter. And she will come out to make this. If successful, it will move her in the lead. And this is now the second class in a row, Sean, where we're going to see 2 medalists in the snatch, or at least 2 medalists that are juniors.
Yes. It's great for weightlifting, great for the future.
If successful, she's in first, will likely hold up for a silver. If she misses, she will be 5th.
Oh my goodness.
What a great lift.
Well, she is successful, and that will be good for a medal.
She got it. It does look like a max effort, but she got it. Fell into the slot. She locked it down. She stayed balanced and stood right up with the barbell. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. There you go.
That was cool.
Yeah. Great lift.
All right, so now Nacy Dahomes, 108 kilos, and what I think will happen is, well, Lydia could take the 110. It's not that far away, but there's a possibility that while Dahomes is on the bar here,
yeah, she'll lower it
to 109.
No reason to take 110.
No.
Not if 109 will win, right?
Right.
So here's Dahomes' third attempt. If successful, she will color up on the podium for the snatch. Currently sitting in second.
Wow.
So that is a guaranteed silver.
Perfect. 3 perfect snatches.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Let's just look at this again.
That just made me happy.
Yeah.
It's just nice, you know?
1-0 for the opening attempt.
Music to your eyes.
Spain, Lydia Valentin.
All right, so we are down to our final lifter, and she wants to open with 110, and that is, you know, well within her.
It's her prerogative.
Yeah, and for her, it actually is a little bit low, right? We've seen her open as heavy as 117. So here is Lydia Valentin, 2016 bronze medalist. She took this in the back, so she's already done
Really?
110 once.
It's interesting.
Well, I bet she could power snatch this if she had
She
to.
did power 100 earlier this week.
I believe that was actually a power snatch.
I mean, I
I
don't.
think she got about parallel.
I don't know. It happened too quickly. I didn't see it.
And there's your world champion in the snatch. So I don't think the records are in danger today, but she can put some distance between her and the rest of the field and have a very easy time in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, and this is almost routine for Lydia. I mean, over the years, I think her best ever is 124. It's a couple of years since she's done that, but it is her best.
Yeah, that's what she wants to do. She wants to be confident, add weight to the barbell, but she also wants to add to add to that lead so she doesn't have to come out with a bigger clean and jerk when maybe she wasn't planning on it originally.
And this is the part where we're down to our final two attempts. They're both hers, and you have your automatic increase and your declaration. So she can actually make 2 more changes. So 115 is the weight that's going to be called. They can tick off you know, a full minute here if they want to. And now that if 115 starts, that's what you have signed off there, and you see she has 2 more changes. So that means 115 is her declaration, right? So with that running, it doesn't matter. She's not even wasting any
but
time.
to your point, I mean, she's opened at 117 before, so this is not even an open.
And the snatch, the expenditure of energy is quite low.
Yes.
So she's not after that extra rest time. Go.
2 for 2.
I wouldn't be surprised if she passes on this, but
well, you gotta respect the clean and jerk ability of the competition, but
I mean,
yeah, but you know,
and she just looks like she's in the shape, maybe not the shape of her life, because we know that she has lifted more, but she's clearly in top form for the moment, meaning that she can make whatever I think she touches. Even if it's not lifetime best, we know it doesn't have to be.
Right.
But if you've got the ability to separate yourself from the field, and she doesn't have the look on her face if somebody's going to pass at 30.
no, she's not going to pass. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she goes after those 20.
yeah, I imagine that is a pretty respectable.
So we've got an
attempt.
18 declaration, 2-minute clock running.
She's going to bump it one more time.
Maybe 20.
20 seems reasonable.
That would be a full 5-kilo jump. She jumped 5 kilos from her first to her second.
Maybe she'll full snatch it.
Well, if you recall, she was in Houston. Well, technically, this would be her 11th World Championships, but if you recall, she withdrew before the competition started. She got hurt in the warm-up, in the training hall, I think, in 2015, didn't compete.
118's the number.
118's the number. 3rd attempt, Lydia Valentin. This will give her a full 10-kilo lead over the silver medalist.
Beautiful.
Good lift for Lydia Valentin. And for all of her accomplishments and all that she's done, she has never been a world champion, and she is now halfway to the bank.
I didn't realize that.
That is right. So Lydia Valentin has brought us into the break with this very smooth 118 kilos. And, you know, we've been talking about technique and making each rep look the same.
Oh, there you go.
And that's why they're at the top of the field. It's for exactly that reason. Their consistency, their dependability, and they know the job they have to do, and they're doing it.
There's McJohnston Ankshishek. She is our silver medalist. Excuse me, bronze medalist with a 106. Lydia We just saw Snatch a gold medal, 118 kilos, 3 for 3 for her. Not much shock on that one.
Has she won, is this her first world championship at all, or has she won a world championship medal in a snatch or a clean and jerk?
She's been on the medal stand before. She was bronze in Poland back in 2013. She's never been world champion.
In any, okay.
Yeah. Oh, in any discipline? No, she's never won a gold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her first gold medal at a world championships. But I'm thinking of specifically total.
Right.
And she's been bronze once. So here are our results in the women 75 kilo snatch competition. You see Jenny Arthur in 5th with a 104 kilo third attempt effort. And as far as the medals go, I mean, there's not a whole lot of separation in this top 6 here. You got to think any one of them can get into play here in the clean and jerk. There's always changes. There's always gaming with the declaration. So it's tough to say how it will look, but for now, they're pretty well packed together.
They are. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And again, at the beginning of this competition, it's all about, we said it's all about making lifts, and that's not going to be any exception for the clean and jerks.